Hi, I'm the Recruiting Maven and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about AI and the much dreaded applicant tracking systems, otherwise known as ATSs. We'll be covering how they work, how recruiters actually use them, and what's next for applicants and AI. Before we get started, I wanted to share with you as a point of reference a video that I created a couple years ago. It'll provide you with a real-time AI application process. The title of the video is How AI Changes the Way We Now Apply for Jobs. I will say that the information is as relevant today as it was back then. One of the main reasons for that is that AI adoption hadn't taken off back then, and I suspect that it was because it was just too costly, as well as I think people's attitudes towards AI was very dismissive as some kind of trend or sci-fi nonsense. If you're interested in learning more, I will provide a link to the video in the description box below. Please note, if you're looking for additional resources, you can find them in the community tab on this channel, which I continuously update on a weekly basis. Okay, so let's dive into today's discussion. Please keep in mind that this scenario is simply to provide you with a general AI application process. So how does AI work and what is the process? So let's say you're applying for a job at XYZ Corporation and you're super excited about the opportunity and you're now at the company's website, just getting ready to apply. As you click on the apply button, a chatbot will pop up and start to engage you. It will ask you if you need help with your application. If you say sure, then it will ask you for your resume. At this point, the bot will review your resume against the actual job description. So the advantage here is that you'll know if the company will move forward with you or not on the spot. There's no second guessing or waiting around for that rejection email. And if the bot has been programmed correctly and ethically, then it will provide you with specific as to why you don't qualify for the job. If you do qualify for the job, then the chatbot will engage you by asking if you have time for a quick interview. Or would you prefer to schedule it for a later time? Now, my recommendation is if you're applying late at night, you might want to gauge how tired you are and if you can do the interview with a clear mind. So gauge your energy level because you can certainly defer that interview and should if you're not feeling at your best. Most likely you will be either sent a calendar link or if the chatbot is very sophisticated, it will help you with the scheduling on the spot. So don't worry so much if you can't interview at that moment. If you proceed with the interview and don't do well, then again, you'll be immediately notified. Some chatbots might ask you if you'd be interested in knowing about other job opportunities with their company. And the same cycle then begins all over again. If, however, you ace the interview the first time, the chatbot will let you know that as well. Then I'll send your information to the recruiter in charge of that requisition, in other words, the job opening, and provide them with a summary of your interview. It might then ask you if you might be interested in other opportunities. I say might because every system is designed a little bit different, so keep that in mind. If you say yes, then it will review on the spot all of the job openings that match your skill sets and experience. And then it will once again guide you through the process I just mentioned. Sometimes a company won't have any other openings that matches your skills and experience. And of course, it will immediately tell you. So what happens next? Then it's in the hands of the recruiter to review all the details, and they will have the option of calling you back to ask you for any further clarifications about your experience or anything else. If all goes well, they will submit your information to the hiring manager for their review. If then the hiring manager wants to proceed, then the recruiter will most likely send you a link to schedule an interview. Keep in mind that all companies have their own process, and again, this is just a general outline of my experience with assisted AI applications and my background as a recruiter. So how do recruiters actually use these systems? Let's start by saying that I think that we can all agree that the application process leaves a lot to be desired, and it's one of the most frustrating aspects of the job hunting process. I've been a contractor for well over 6 years, and this is still a point of contention for me. Let's face it, applying can still be tedious, and I, for one, appreciate that the application process to be a lot more streamlined. I mean, isn't that what AI is for? Enough said. Now let's address one of the most talked about functions of the applicant tracking system. And for brevity's sake, moving forward, I'll just refer to it as the ATS. There's a lot of buzz around this topic, and that is that the AI will review your resume and will throw you out of the consideration process if you don't qualify, without anyone else seeing your resume. In my experience, that has been the case. And here's what the recruiter sees on the other side of the application. The AI will provide to the recruiter a score in which you ranked against the job description. The icons vary, but all in all, you get the gist. Here's where it gets tricky, as some recruiters live by this information and others don't. Some recruiters trust their system 100%, and some, like me, want to see individuals who may stand to have potential or transferable skills versus someone who just looks good on paper. I will then have to find all of the decline applications in the ATS and review them manually. Keep in mind that if recruiters are receiving anywhere between 400 to 600 applicants, and that's just being conservative, and I'm just talking about for one requisition, in other words, one job opening, at some point the system is something to really lean on to help the recruiter be more efficient as well as effective at their job. Sadly, we don't live in a perfect world. Plus, some recruiters manage anywhere between 20 to 90 job openings at one time. That's no easy feat. More and more, I'm hearing that you can write an ATS-friendly resume, which some people are taking this to an extreme. They simply copy and paste the job description onto the resume. The problem with this is that the recruiter or a human will still review the resume, and if things don't look right, I hate to tell you, but I would just decline it. So now you're asking, why would I decline it? Well, every time I post a new job opening, I do review the job description. Or if I've hired a multitude of people for that particular type of job in the past, I'm already familiar with that job description. Then I ask myself, why would a person just copy and paste the same words I used in the job description? Do they lack communication skills, written and verbal? What's going on with this person? I think these are some logical and reasonable questions to ask. Of course, I will look at other aspects of the resume just to make sure that I'm not missing something, like education and other past experience. Bottom line, I do not recommend for you to copy and paste portions of your job description on your resume. It tickles me even to say that. Honestly, it's just not professional. I can assure you that hiring managers would question me heavily about your qualifications and your ability to do the job well, as I provide to them your resume when submitting you as a potential candidate for them to interview. They will also know that you've copied and pasted the job description, because often they also have a hand in writing the job description, and at the very least, they review the job description before requesting the job to be open in their department in the first place. Again, I just don't recommend you doing this, but it's up to you. So what's next for applicants and AI? Moving forward, we can expect that more and more companies will start to implement AI in their business. As I mentioned earlier, this will happen as AI becomes more cost-effective and thereby making it more budget-friendly for small to mid-sized companies to afford. One thing I can tell you is that it's so important to start upskilling now. Know how AI works so that you can be more valuable to your employer. Having AI skills will set you apart from other candidates as well as your coworkers. Again, this will make you more valuable to your employer. If you're currently not employed, well then, take a course. There are plenty of budget-friendly AI courses available online on learning platforms like Udemy or Coursera. We're standing on the brink of a new way of life, and uncertainty is on the menu across all industries. Get started on that side gig now so that you are prepared and not caught off guard. Wonder if you'll make ends meet if you're faced with trying to find a job longer than 6 months and now your unemployment benefits have run out. As we wrap up today's vlog, I want to address a crucial topic, and that is the emotional impact of job loss. If you're facing emotional challenges during this time, I've recently published a book titled The Job Hunting Journal. This book was crafted specifically to assist you in coping after a layoff or during a career transition. Having been a contractor for well over 6 years, constantly moving from one contract to another, I developed this methodology, trying to manage my own anxiety and bring a sense of normalcy and stability, as well as accomplishment, back into my life. The process outlined in the book is designed to help you regain a sense of stability, often shaken by job loss, and rediscover a positive forward-moving outlook. The link to my book is included in the description box below, as well as in the community tab. Thank you once again for your continued support of my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Have a lovely rest of your day.